Brittany, come on in. Hi. Have a seat.
Thank you.
So this is our first time we've ever met. What brings you in today?
I'm really nervous. I've never talked to a counselor before. I've thought about it a lot. I'm just really nervous, and I've had so much go on in my life lately. I just feel like I need somebody to listen to me.
So what I'm hearing is that you've never felt comfortable enough to talk to anybody else about some of your problems?
No, not really.
Well, can I ask what's going on?
Oh, where to start? I found out that my husband was cheating on me and asked for a divorce. I lost my job. I've moved lately, or I moved recently. My kids have switched schools, and Ben and Chris, and Ben is terrible. I cry myself to sleep every night. I'm just at my wit's end. We still have some legal proceedings going on. I can't afford my attorney. I can't afford my house payment right now. I'm a mess.
So you're struggling with anxiety and from a recent divorce. Is the divorce final, or are you still in the process?
It'll be finished probably within the next 2 weeks, but there's an open child protection case. My son accused my husband of hitting him, and I've been asked to testify, and that has me frantic.
Okay, so
I'm feeling really overwhelmed.
it's totally normal to feel overwhelmed, and I really appreciate the fact that you've come in to talk to me. It is very normal to feel uncomfortable talking to a stranger, and I really appreciate that you were willing to try to come talk to me. I hope that we can help you kind of work through some of your anxiety and difficulties that you're feeling.
I hope so too.
So, your children, do you have custody of them, or?
I do.
Okay. So what I heard you mention earlier is that one of your children is acting out. Is it the child that?
Ben, he's 12.
He's 12, and you mentioned that they had recently switched schools because you recently moved?
He's very angry. Very angry. I can't even talk to him about his day without him throwing things and yelling at his brother.
Is his brother older or younger?
He's younger.
Okay. So you have two boys, one is younger, and the older boy is acting out. And
12 and 8.
12 and 8, okay. Now, is it the 12-year-old who mentioned that the father hit him, or is it the 8-year-old?
It's the 12-year-old.
Okay, so the son who's been possibly abused by your soon-to-be ex-husband, is he attacking his younger brother in a similar manner?
Not directly. He's just very angry.
Okay. And how are you spending much time with your children?
I feel like I can spend as much time as I can. I need to take care of myself. I know that, and I'm not a good mom if I'm not able to care for myself.
That is very important. I'm glad that you're able to recognize that. I really validate the fact that you feel that you need some time in order to be a positive role model for your children.
But I'm tired.
That is very normal to feel like that. You're going through a lot that you know, this is, you're taking on more than most people do. You've had to move at the same time. You've had to change your kids' schools. You're in the process of a divorce. That is a lot for one person to take on all in one time. That is very normal to feel very upset. Are you said that you had lost your job. Are you in the process of wanting to try to get a new job, or are you going to take some time off?
No, I need to get back to work.
Okay. What were you doing previously?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, okay. And did you lose your job in the process of the divorce, or was it before the divorce?
It was during the divorce.
Okay.
And part of it was my decision. I wanted to relocate just to create some space for my ex-husband. So it was a culmination of things.
Okay. So what kind of things do you think we can work on that would help you reduce some of your anxiety and feel better as a parent and an individual, a professional?
I don't even know. I just want to feel normal again. I want to feel less stressed. I want my kids to be happy. I want my ex-husband to go away. I want some routine in my life again.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you want to feel that your children are happy and that you're happy and to kind of just move forward with life.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of goals could we set for you to take steps in order to achieve this?
I guess I need to find a job
Okay.
sooner than later.
Do you want to stay in the nursing field?
I think so, yes.
Where did you previously work?
The regional medical center.
Okay. There are other like smaller clinics in town, and there's another hospital in town. Have you considered trying to apply at either of those places?
I just haven't had time to work on my resume.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's the first step we should probably talk about is one step at a time. Your resume. What could you do to get your resume ready to go to apply for a job?
I guess I just need to set some time aside and work on it. It's been a long time since I've updated it.
Okay.
But then I worry about leaving my kids alone and what's going to happen. And
Well, when you were working on your resume, how would you be leaving your kids alone?
maybe just unsupervised. It worries me.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you want to work on your resume, but you don't want to leave your kids unsupervised. Do you have a way to work on your resume while your children are in the same room, or do you need to do your resume by yourself?
I guess I could borrow a friend's laptop, bring it home.
Do you have any supports since you've been going through this?
Oh, it's been really hard. Our friends have seemed to take sides. And I feel like everyone's just pointing the finger at me. It was my fault that he left. And I know I have those few good friends, but for the most part I've lost a lot.
But you do have some supports in your still that you feel that you can talk to?
Yeah.
And you think you could borrow a laptop from maybe one of them to work on your resume at home?
I think so.
That would be good. And then once you work on your resume, then maybe that'll help you be one step closer to applying for a job.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned earlier that your children had recently changed schools and one was acting out. Was there a time prior to you moving into a new school that he wasn't acting out?
He was a good kid.
What things were you doing to help him?
I don't know if I did anything. Life was just normal. It's what we did. And, you know, the divorce and now these allegations of his dad hurting him. It's probably too much for him to deal with.
So what goals could we set for you to start spending more time with your son?
Well, we're going to counseling.
Excellent.
he sees a counselor at school, and they've asked me to come. I made the last appointment, but he's just so angry.
When was your husband? What? So you've said that you've made an appointment, the last one, and they've scheduled another one for you to attend.
Yeah, next week.
And how do you feel that is going?
I hope it works. It hasn't yet.
Well, you've only made one. You've only been recently started.
I just want to snap my fingers and have this all be done and over with.
Change takes time. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a thing that we have to work through slowly, one step at a time, and it's going to be difficult for them to change schools. They probably don't have any friends, and so an adjustment period for them to get settled in is going to take a little bit of time. So there isn't going to be an immediate remedy, but I think if you're consistent with therapy and you start working with your son in therapy, and depending on how willing you are to keep trying, you mentioned you made one appointment. Have they tried to get you to come prior to that, or have they just scheduled the one appointment and
Just
you made
the one appointment.
So it shows that you're willing to work with your son.
Oh yeah. My kids are very important to me.
That's great. What kind of goals have they set in that therapy appointment?
Just basically working on Ben's anger at school. That's all we really discussed.
Okay.
Maybe some coping strategies to use at home.
And have you been trying to work on anything at home?
No.
What could we do to set a goal, or how can I help you to start working on these goals at home?
I think it's helpful just having someone to talk to for me, another adult. Obviously, you're trained in this, so you have some idea of what I'm going through. I think it's just nice to be heard.
I agree. I feel that feeling that you have someone to talk to is very important, and I'm glad to hear that you're willing to come in and talk to me. I'm very glad that you made your appointment today, and I'm glad to hear that you also have other supports in your life as well, and hopefully you feel that you can talk to them about certain things. But I am always here to help, and I want you to know that everything in our session is confidential and it will not be told to anyone else. So I'm grateful that you feel that you can talk to me.
Thanks. Yeah, I just have been really skeptical about therapy in the past, and it's hard for me to open up. I've always had everything on my ducks in a row. I tend to be on the ball, and it's kind of admitting failure, you know. Things just snowballed and got out of control really fast.
So what I'm hearing is, prior to your divorce, you were actually very organized and didn't feel that you needed to talk to anybody.
I was the perfect wife and mother.
What I'm hearing is that you feel that you were perfect and you didn't deserve the situation you're in.
Our life was happy.
And I really appreciate the fact that you're willing to try to make changes to improve everything for you and your children. I think you're going in the right step by getting some help, and I just want to reiterate that it's very